Wow.
Cube just solved. Sleight of hand has its limits. To achieve a new level of impossibility, you need something else. I know it's hard to believe, but what you just saw can be done in real life. 2, 3. And whole cube just solved. After it's solved, you can then hand it out for examination. You want to check now?
Yeah, I want to check.
Okay, take a look. It's a real cube. Or continue with any of your favorite routines. You know how long I can solve? 1 second. Like, there are no complicated parts. It's a reliable gimmick that will last forever.
Thank you.
This is Audi Insta.
Welcome to Audi Insta. What is Audi Insta? Audi Insta is actually our version, or you could say our tribute to the Enchanter Cube and the Insta Cube. It is also the very first time when Flap combines with Cube Magic in a very practical way. So, are you ready for that? Let's go into it. The history of the Audi Insta. The principle of the Audi Insta actually came from my FISM act. I used that principle for another thing, which I'm not going to tell you what that is, but I didn't use that for the CubeSoft. Later, I saw Vincent started to develop Flap with cubes, and then I think, wait, maybe this can be a CubeSoft. And then I keep developing it, and now there you go, the Audi Insta. Also, you can kind of relate that to the Enchanter Cube and the Insta Cube. Enchanter Cube is where you have a cube one side mixed, and then you use a stack to make sure all the sides are mixed up, and then it kind of creates an illusion that the whole cube is mixed, and then you can solve that. For Insta Cube, it's actually like a slightly improved version of that, where you can palm it off and hand it out for examination. So this is very similar because you can like show one side is mixed, and later you can still palm it off, but at the same time it is also a flap. So this is the history of the Audi Insta. So what exactly is Audi Insta? This is the gimmick. It is basically a flap, but not elastic, just contacting by tape. It's attached on the cube. There are magnets here, and here. Also the centerpiece. We put some magnetic block inside there so it becomes magnetic. I will talk about the magnetic block later. This one goes to here. And this is the Audi Insta gimmick. So to activate that, you just turn the layer slightly, it will fly to the outside. So that creates the illusion that the cube solves suddenly. So this is the basic gimmick of the Audi Insta. Now you're going to learn the construction of the RD insert gimmick. Because we gave you one that is ready to perform, but we also want to give you a component where you can construct one yourself. So you can decide what to do with the other gimmick. Like maybe if you want to perform like Vincent's application or your own ideas, maybe. So you need to learn how to construct the gimmick. So first of all, you got a plate where you have 3 holes where you can put the magnets. We didn't glue these magnets for you because you need to decide which orientation you want. Maybe you want the other side, maybe. So make sure the orientation of the magnets are correct, and then you glue it on. And then you can see you have some long stickers, and we are going to stick it on top of here. So that would make sure the magnets would not come off. Very safe. Okay, now fast forward. Okay, look, done pretty well, right? The magnets are now concealed inside and it's very safe, never fall off, okay? Now, you also have another plate which you don't have any holes on it. So what you do, you turn over this one, and now we are going to take the short tape and place here, here, and here. Okay? So let me do. Oh wait, when you tape, remember always leave a little space between the 2 plates. Like this. A little space. Okay, now you can see the 3 tapes are on here, 1, 2, 3. Now it creates a flap. Now you're going to put these shimmed metal plates here, 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 and here, here, here. Oh, to make it easier, you can take the metal plate, you can stick it here, so you can aim easily. Okay, like this. There you got one. Okay, the rest, fast forward. Okay, now all done. So you can see here 3 metal plates. The other side is the 3 magnets and the 3 metal plates. So it will flap over like this and attract to the magnet. So this is the basic construction of the RD insert gimmick. Now we're going to talk about our revolutionary design of the magnetic block. Let me show you. So it's actually right inside here. This is the magnetic block. Can you see? This block, it's so amazing because you can put this block anywhere in the cube. You can put it here, 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 anywhere. Let's say if I don't want the orange side to be magnetic, I want the blue side to be magnetic. So I'll just put a block in. Remember when you put it in, can you see our logo, the RD? This side, the one with RD, is always towards the bottom of the hole. So you put it in like this. And you can always see on top of the block, there is one corner missing. This corner is very important because every piece, there is a leg here. Can you see? Here. So aim this leg to this corner and you can shut the lid easily. If it's not at the right direction, you cannot shut the lid. Okay? So make sure the orientation is right. So let's say if I want the blue side to be magnetic, all I need to do is put the magnet here and then slide in. And then close the lid like this. Now the blue side will be magnetic, like here. Okay? Let's say if I want the orange side to be magnetic, easy. Let's just take off the piece. Oh, by the way, for the outer cube, every corner, every side, you can always take off a piece. Let's say here, it could be either the orange side or the blue side. It could be orange side, blue side, or the white side. So you need to see there's a little edge here, so it means it's the orange side, okay? Let's say you want the orange side to be magnetic, not the blue side. So you take it off like this. Wait. The amount of magnet. Okay. You put it on top of here, and then you shut the lid like this. Now the orange side is magnetic. Now, in case if you don't want the magnet shaking inside like this, you can hear little sound, but it actually really doesn't matter. But if you want, you can glue that magnet on the block so it stays there forever. So right now we have magnets here, 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 and here. The middle part, we also put a magnet without the block. Okay, this is just a magnet on top of there. Okay, like the Audi 360 method. You can decide to put it in the middle or not, because it will make the cube a little bit more heavy. But I want it to be more safe, so I always put here, here, here. Okay, so the flap, magnets here, so it stays right there. Because this plate, there are metal plates here and here as well, so it would either stay here or stay there. The amazing thing is it does not have any elastic thread or any rubber. It just happens. When you turn the layer, it just flies to the other side. So this is the design of the outer insert gimmick. Now you're going to learn the stack for the outer insert. It is very, very easy. Only 4 steps. When you perform, the gimmick is always at your lower left corner, right here. You can see? Now, let's say you want to start a trick. You can secretly open the flap, like this. And then, the stack is this. Because after you open the flap, you can only turn this and this and this, nothing else, only these layers. So the stack is forward, left, left, forward. That's all. Forward, left, left, forward. What is that? Forward, left, left, forward. For the left, it doesn't really matter which side first, because it's always the same. You just push one side here and then here. Okay, let me go back. Yes. So, forward, left, left, forward. Now, to undo the whole thing, you turn the cube gimmick side towards the audience. Now, the only layers you can turn is here, here, and here, right? So you do the same thing. It's same again. Forward, left, left, forward. So same thing. Forward, left, left, forward. And that's all. Okay? Now you're ready to perform the solve. Let me do it again for you. Same thing. Open the gimmick. Forward, left, left, forward, turn. Same thing, undo. Forward, left, left, forward. One more time. Open the gimmick. Forward, left, left, forward. Turn. Forward, left, left, forward. And that's the stack. Now you're going to learn the basic activation of the gimmick. So let's say you open a gimmick secretly, you turn, you do the stack, right? You can display the cube, you do the restoring sequence. Now you're ready to solve in front of them. How to activate a gimmick? First of all, your right hand should be holding these two layers, right? You don't need to hold like very deep because actually this side is pretty safe. Even they see a little bit of here, it doesn't really matter. They still think it's mixed. Of course, not like that, but like the two layers, and it would be just right. This side, you try not to show it to the audience. You aim it towards them. Or if you want, you can use the other hand to block this angle. This side, you towards the audience. Now, how to activate a gimmick? First of all, your thumb is around here. Okay? These pieces. Not like this, because you will be holding the gimmick so it does not fly. So around here is correct. Now, you are going to push the middle layer down and this layer up. So it creates this. It breaks the layer, so it has to fly to this side. This is a principle. You cannot do it slow. If you do it slow, it will look like this. You need to push it right down, right? Like this. Again, just a slight separation of these two layers. So, details how to do that. Simple. Your thumb push down. But if your index finger is here, you cannot push it down because you're pushing your index finger, right? So you need to let go a little bit of these three fingers. You press down, and these three fingers are holding this corner. At the same time, your thumb right here, you need to leave some space here. So this layer can go up. Alright, so combine everything together, you just press and it will solve. Okay, again. I have to say, this process you need to practice. It's not something you can do instantly, but once you practice that, you have a beautiful solve. Okay, again, it's very easy actually. Just press. Okay, some people do like this. Don't do that because it's ugly, right? It's so obvious you press this layer. No, not good. Do it like this. Okay, so after the solve, maybe you can line it up while you're turning the cube like that. Okay, so this is how you activate the gimmick. So now let's learn some standard solve about the ARRIS Insta. First of all, when you have the gimmick at the solve status, remember, don't show it like that because it would be obvious, because now it's two layers because it's a bit thick. So I never really show it like that. If it's in solve state, I always make sure it is towards myself. So that even if I put on a table or on my hand, it's always towards the bottom. Okay, so let's say you want to activate a gimmick, you prepare the stack, it's at your lower left side, you open the gimmick, you do the stack front, left, front. Now, this status is very safe because as you can see, it's pretty much just like a mixed up cube, so it's very safe to show all the sides. Now, the standard solve, you show the cube, aim towards the audience. Now you do the forward, left, forward, right? Now, the basic activation, right? You open here, do the press. Usually, if you want to make it maybe more invisible, you can do a little shake. I do it like go up and down, and then I square up at the same time. So we can do this. It looks pretty good, right? Now, this is a snapshot because when you do this, you can hear a little snap, right? You can use your left hand to hide that sound because of this. Okay, so you do this, it looks like the cube solve. Now, after the solve, you turn over the cube and then you do the palm off. Okay, now The other way is to mute the sound. You can do something I call maybe the wave solve. Basically, your thumb is still here, but your index finger is a little bit forward. So even almost like touching the edge of the gimmick. So it looks something like this. You do this. Without any sound, it's soft. Okay? So because when your index finger is here, when you press, your index finger actually mute the sound. Now you can let go a little bit and then the gimmick will close. So when you do the shake, you do it outwards and the press. So outward and the press, and then when you come back, you square up the whole thing and it looks like the cube just solved by just waving it like this. Yeah, it looks really beautiful. Okay. The next thing is you can do it like with some cover. Let's say you do the stack. Now you do the front, left, left, but you don't do the front here. You press down a little bit, but not much, just a little bit. Now use your left hand to cover here, but your ring finger, you do this move. So just like in the trailer, you can see I do the change, and then when I come back, I change the other two layers as well, just like this. This is a little bit advanced, but maybe you will like it. My favorite way is always just this, because it looks so good. It looks like the sticker is changing itself just by snapping your fingers. It's a bit to a point that it's too perfect, too amazing. Okay, so just this. And then turn it to the bottom, and then you're done. The following ideas is created by Vincent Kuo, and he used it in his FISM act, and it looks really amazing. So it looks like this, mix up cube, and mix it even more. So watch this, I will only use one finger, watch this, 1, 2, 3. The whole cube solved. How to do it? Simple. So you open the gimmick, do the forward, left, left, forward, and then show the cube. Now, you're into the ready position like this. The whole cube solved except for these two layers. Now, your thumb move backwards a little bit like this, leaving a little space in the middle. Your index finger are going to press down this layer. Just a quick press and it's done like this. Look, 1, 2, and then it will fly automatically, and it looks really good. It looks like you have a button in the cube and you press and it's solved. Okay, one more time. Mix up cube, mix it even more. Want just one finger, press the middle, quick and go down like this. Now, when you flip, you grab a cube and then you show the cube all around. Gimmick towards bottom, and that's the button solve by Vincent Kuo. This is a solve by Mario Lupus. It looks really good. Something like this. You mix the cube. Watch this. 2 fingers. Just this. Just rub. And the whole cube solved. So, this is a bit angry. It's really good for Instagram, but let's learn about it. Simple. This is really like Mario Lupus style. It's like in 2018, I showed Mario, and he instantly came up with this idea with the outer insert. So how it's done? Gimmick towards down, lower left, here. Secretly open it, you do the stack, right? Now, you do the front restoring sequence, right front, and then you turn the cube like this. So the gimmick is towards the audience, all right? You can still show around. Now, your left hand hold the first layer here, but your right hand do the twist like this and then this. This is a left, but you done it with your right hand. Now, the whole cube is almost solved, except for the bottom layers. So make sure the angle is right, you twist the audience, you use 2 fingers, cover the bottom layers, when you're covering, your ring finger secretly rotate this layer. And then you slowly go up, and then your index finger, right hand, secretly turn a little bit, so it is open a little bit. So your left hand clipped it and complete the flap. Also, at the same time, you line it up back again. So, like this, now the whole cube will be solved. One more time. You show the cube, you do the first layer, you turn the cube, do the two other layers, you show hands, cover the bottom layer, but you do this, cover, and then you do a little bit opening, close the flap, and square up the cube. Something like this. And that's the gradual solve by Mario. This is how it looks like from behind. So this is a gimmick, right? This is a mark. Do the forward, right? And then you swivel it like this. Audience that side. You hold this layer. Turn left and left again. You cover the bottom layer and you turn it like this. And then slowly go up, clip it, and then you complete the flap. And square it back up again. This is how it's done from the back. So basically, I'm very sure you can come up with your own way to perform the outer insert. I'll just give you a few examples. Let's say maybe you can just throw and solve it, or you can like drop and solve it, or maybe you can pretend to do accurate solve. Maybe you can do this, and then the whole cube solve. Or maybe like squeeze solve, right? Like this, but you don't need to do big motion, just do this and then solve. That's just too many ways. You can come up with your own ideas. One more idea is that you can do it with misdirection. Let's say you mix up the cube like this, and then you say, okay, let's say maybe how long you think I can solve it? Maybe around 4 seconds, and then I'm done already, right? You can use the mute thing so it doesn't have the sound, so you can do some misdirection, and then the cube solved. Maybe. So come up with your own way, be creative, and let's see what you will come up with. Now you're going to learn how to palm off the gimmick and clean up so you can hand out the cube for examination. So basically it feels like a card slide, a bottom palm. So what you do, let's say you solve the cube. Now you're going to line it up and you're going to turn this layer towards the bottom. So I will use my left hand to turn it like this, and then it looks like I'm gesturing the cube every side. But what it does is now it's at the bottom, right? My left hand will use my middle finger to kick out this side, like this. So at the front, you see nothing. But from the bottom, you can see it's like this already. Alright? What I do is I'm gonna clip it with my ring finger here, like this. Okay? So it looks like this, and then I can palm it off and hand it out for examination. The gimmick is right here. Okay? Let me try again. Looks something like this. You do the solve. Now you turn. You gesture the cube. Right? Now palm it off and you can hand it out. That's the first method. So this is the second way to palm it off. It's more secure because sometimes if you do the edge palm, maybe your hands are slippery or not safe. So after you do a solve, turn it like this. Now, same thing, you press it, you push the gimmick to this side. Okay, but your hand's hiding. Now, instead of clipping like this, you turn the cube this way. So, and then you press the gimmick into your finger palm, like this. But you didn't stop there. Your right hand keep going and rotate this layer, and it's like just playing around with the cube and then hand it out. So the whole motion looks like this. I'll After it's solved, you turn like this, you gesture, show the cube. Now you show the cube, hand it out like this, and you palm off the gimmick. One more time, like this. Solve, turn, show it all around, push it off, push it into your palm, turn the cube, show it. This is how you palm the gimmick. So let's say you do the solve, you turn it around, right? You do the palming, you hand it out for examination. Now, you need to learn how to ditch the gimmick, right? If you have a table, of course you can just rest at the side and you can lap it. Of course, usually you will be performing stand-up, so you hand out the cube. Now, your right hand relaxed. Don't just go straight to the pocket, otherwise it will be obvious, right? So just relax, drop that. If you're an advanced magician, you probably know that, right? If you're palming something, always relax and drop that like that. No energy here, and no energy this side as well. So it's like mirroring. Now, what is the motivation for your hand to go into your pocket? It's just relax your whole body, right? So you do a whole body relaxed posture, like that. Now your hands are naturally in the pocket, and then you ditch it already. Now, you need your hands to come out again, right? So you need to have a reason for come out again. Let's say you want to say something. Let's say, so it's a normal cue, right? The sticker doesn't change it, right? Say something with the hands, so it has to come out again. So now it's very natural, you just relax and, oh, it's normal, right? And you ditch it again. So the timing is like, this is, you let them examine. Now this is off beat, and this is on beat again. Now it cleans up already. One more time with the cube. So let's say you have it palm it off, right? It's normal. Take it out of the cube, make sure it's normal. Okay, check it. It doesn't come off, right? Blah, 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 say something. And then you clean up already. All right, so this is like the timing of how you clean out the gimmick. So now you're going to learn the Nightmare False Shuffle, which is taught in Rubik's Dream as well. This is like one of the false shuffle that you can do even if the gimmick is on. When it is at your lower right corner, lower left corner, this side, you do your right hand do this. I'll show you once first. Look, it looks like this. Slow motion, forward, 2 layers to the left, back, forward, 2 layers to the left, back, forward, 2 layers and 2, like this. Okay, so it's like this, like that. Okay, just memorize these steps. Like this, back, index finger, back. Now, 2 times, back. So imagine this is in the forward, the outer insert stack, like this. Okay. Now you can add one more false shuffle right here. So the gimmick is here. Can you see? Just do this. Looks like you're mixing up the cube. Okay. Now you turn it this side, and then you can restore the stack, and then you can perform the soft, and that's it. So what you're about to learn is a wonderful 1 cube routine by me and Vincent Kuo. It's simple, mix up a cube. Now, I want to ask you a question. How long do you think I can solve a cube? Let's say maybe 5 or 4 seconds. For me, I'm much faster than that. It's done already. So, some people think I actually have 2 cubes. They think I have 1 mix-up cube and 1 solve behind my back, so I can do this and solve the cube, right? Of course, it's impossible. How can I hide a cube, right? So this time, I'm not gonna hide it. You're gonna see the exact moment it's solved. Don't blink, because it's really amazing. It looks like the stickers change itself. Watch. 1, 2, 3. Just like this. And that's the 1 cube routine by me and Vincent. Now the cube we can examine because I palmed the gimmick already. So let's learn this 1 cube routine. First of all, this is a free face routine. I think 3 phase is just right, because if you do it like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 phase, keep solving, keep mixing yourself, spectator will start to think, wait, why I cannot mix it, right? So I think 3 times is just right. So you start with the cube in a mixed status like this. Alright, now you can do some forcible, I just taught you. Okay, you show the cube, you ask them, how long you think I can solve the cube? Why are you doing that? But the cube is already solved, like this. Now you're using the enchanted cube principle, where you pretend the cube is still mixed up. So what you do is, you ask them, how long do you think I can solve cube? And then they may have their answers, and they say, maybe for me, I will look at the watch, so they have something unexpected things happen. Why I look at the watch, right? Maybe around 3 seconds, and then the cube is solved. What I do is, I do this, and then when I hold up the cube, I swivel the cube towards the back, so showing the red side. Okay, so it looks like this. Solved. Even if they're burning here, you can't really tell. You can't really tell what's happening. Okay, so look here and then solved. Now, the fun thing about outer insert is, because right now you didn't need to close the gimmick yet, you can still twist the top layer like this with one finger, so you can show it like, it looks like you show all around the cube, but no, you just turn the cube like this. Look, it's solved. This is a beautiful thing about the outer insert. Now, the gimmick is still towards yourself. I will use my index finger to turn 2 layers there, so it closes the flap itself, like this. So now you're going to learn the second phase of the one cube routine. Now this is an amazing discovery from Vincent, because he discovered that when you have the gimmick on, you can still perform the Usui Takami's one-handed technique, the 2-1-1-2 or 1-2-2-1, because this layer will never mix. That's why it works. So you can have the gimmick right here. So I would prefer you to use Usui Takami's The Cube Stack, where you can learn it from his DVD or his Penguin Live. But now I will teach you a very simple version, which is not as good, but you can still do it. Okay? So basically, after the first phase, you do this, right? Blah blah blah. Now the cube's solved. Now turn the first layer. Now, your index finger will do this and closes the gimmick. So 2 to here. Now you're going to turn 2 to the front, 2 to your left, 2 to the front, 2 to your left, 2 to your front. So total you have done 6 times, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 times. Now, if you turn the cube like this way, now you do same thing, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you solve it again. So using this concept, alright, after the first phase, you do this, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 6 times. You turn and you take this cube, go to your back, and you do it with one-handed. You hold this layer, you use the index finger to turn this layer, 2 layers together, 1, this one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can solve the whole cube. So this is the second phase of the one cube routine. So the structure of the routine is that the first time you solve it by misdirection, right? The second time it happens when you're explaining something, so it's like a surprise. And the third time is where you tell them, okay, this time I'm not going to hide anything. You're going to see the exact moment how it's solved. Now, right, you can do some force shuffle, and then you do the outer insta. So they now will be refocused on the cube, and they want to see how it happened. So this process kind of explain to them how it happens, right? And then you palm it off and you can hand it out for examination, okay? So this is the free face routine by me and Vincent, and this is a really good 1Q routine. So enjoy it. So basically, this Audi Insert gimmick, you can combine it with any previous product, let's say Audi or Audi 360 or even Venom Cube, right? Because you have the magnetic block, you can put it in any Audi cubes, you can install the gimmick on any Audi cubes, and you can do anything you want. Example, let's say I have a cube right here, right? You can first do some cube solving, right? Now you palm up the gimmick, you said, okay, maybe you think somehow I have some ways to have some pattern or anything. I'll hand out to you, you mix it up, right? While you're mixing up, you casually lab it or place it in your pocket, the gimmick. Now they really mix it up, right? Now you say, I'm going to solve this cube one-handed without looking, all right? Maybe actually without even touching. Now I'll place it inside the bag like this. Snap my fingers. Amazingly, cube is now solved, every single side. And that's the trick. Thank you very much. Now they think there's one more cube. I said, no cube. See? No cube. He said, let go of the hand. Okay, let go of my left hand, let go of my right hand. So anyway, maybe you want to believe there's no cube, right? You want to believe there's real magic. So I give you real magic. Just an example to combine the Audi Insert and the Rubik's Street. All right. So this is how you can combine the Audi Insert gimmick into the Venom Cube. So as you can see, this is the weak cube. Yes, this is a weak cube with a gimmick on. This is a strong cube. I usually perform the Audi Insert routine first and then go into Venom. So what I do is, let's say, because you know every strong cube there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? All 5 side, 5 pieces of magnets every side, okay, like an X. So that means you can already put this on, okay? But it's not strong enough, so you need to put the magnetic block here, and also here. So that would make this gimmick would be able to stay safely like this, okay? So what I do, I could do the 1Q routine, blah blah blah. I do a 1Q routine, I solve it, blah blah blah, solve, and then I palm it off. Now I hand it out for examination, and then I lab this one. Now I tell them, okay, now I got another cube here. This is a prediction cube, and I will like isolate with the glass. Oh, by the way, this will be available in our website later. Just isolate like this. I'm not going to touch it. This one, I will hand it out for them, let them to mix any pattern they want. And then let's say they stop any moment, stop it anywhere, like maybe here. Now you can go straight to Venom. Okay, and you do this, and then you show that it matches first side, not just first side, but second side, third side, fourth side, 5, and all 6 sides. And then you go straight to Venom Cube. Okay, this is how you combine them together.
So let's welcome Vincent. Hi.
Hey,
The reason why Vincent is here
that was
as
an awkward handshake.
as our special guest is that because like we have like very different approach on creating magic, right? Like me, I create magic by solving problems. Like I found a problem, I want to solve it, like found the best solution to it, and then I keep thinking what's the best way to do that. Like that's why there are things like Venom Cube, things like Audi Insert.
G was telling me that I think 7 ways to create magic. Like either it's like, I want to solve a Rubik's Cube just by like simply doing like a thing, right?
Yeah.
I want to make it look like this.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I'm playing with a bunch of like interesting stuff and I realize, oh, I can do a magic trick with this.
Right.
Or it's like you discover by accident,
yeah.
like, you know, one of his Imagine, he discovered that by accident. Makes sense? Yeah, so there's not just one way to create magic.
Yes. I just mean my way is
Your way is
it's
to
like
come up with-
solving problems. Like I want look
get
like
you.
that. That's why I think, how can I make it look like that, right? Anyway,
But I
your-
think a lot of the stuff I was doing in the trailer was actually me experimenting with this really cool gimmick and then
Yes.
seeing what comes to mind. Not
is it ghost?
it's a thread reel. I hope
You
know.
set it up there.
Yeah.
So the first one is the one in the trailer where you have this missing stickers like jumping on a cube, right?
This was definitely not. I have a goal in mind. Let me achieve it. This was like, let me see what are some weird visuals I can do with this gimmick.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So this is. Shall I just get into it?
Yeah.
This is the Insta gimmick. So it goes from here to there. Rather than mixed to solved, it's solved with one sticker missing on the bottom,
Yeah.
and it jumps up to there. And I also put a magnet up here so that you can move it there.
So it's like this piece, not just jump from here to there, but you can move even here. It's like, wow, it's really something you can do it live, right?
It is. It is doable
because
live.
the gimmick is like this. That means you can like add it on and pretend to make one sticker vanish, and then
it is
keep
doable
going
live.
with the right.
It's not
routine.
something I would do live.
Right. It's not something you would like to do live, right? But
It's,
it can.
well,
You can.
You can.
can.
I like doing. I try to do things with like a why behind it, and I don't really know why I'd be making this jump. I think this is just something really
fun,
cool on
yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, this is where the gimmick is at the moment. It's like this, but it's in this angle right now. So in the trailer, I held it like this. I turned it up. It almost looks like a vanish. It's not really an effect. It's just you might as well maximize all the magic moments you can.
Right.
I did a really quick rotation just to throw people off, because some people will think like, oh, maybe he was just turning it in most of them. So this is just to throw people off. This one, as I'm sure you've gathered, is simply just
Slide
that.
there.
Just a very quick.
Yeah.
And then I switch to this hand. I cover it with my right hand and my finger opens this up.
Wow.
So during this moment it covers up, I kind of pretend I'm dragging it up to here, and then just the button solve. And that's the end. The next visual is a sticker was peeled off and then it came back onto the. I like the sound effects. Basically, it's all white, right? And I peel off the middle sticker. I'm gonna crease it a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's my fault. So basically, I had this very lightly stuck on. So,
Like this.
yeah. If you wanted to make a proper effect out of it, you could use magnets to line it up.
Oh,
It's
wait.
quite.
What if you have the cube like set it on a table, like you pretend you didn't see this, and it's what the hell? You take it off.
That's cool. But if you wanted to make this practical and do it live,
Yeah.
you could probably have like sticker, magnet in the middle, right?
Right.
The circle.
Like you make
the
it
circle would show.
shim
But basically you also have it on the back, so you could peel it off, and then like when it hops back on, you can figure out a handling to like just ditch it on the back of the cube. Right.
And it's like your end clean, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, just keep going.
Yeah.
So take it off.
This is how I activate it with my left hand. That's just how I handle it. So this was on there. It gets peeled off. I keep my fingers on the Insta gimmick because then that happens, right? And it's kind of like a cop, but with just your fingers. So something like that. And then I held this because this is really guilty.
Yeah.
So it's like the magic wand principle.
Right.
If you wanted to do this live, yeah, you could figure out a handling to ditch it on the back. But I think
it's actually very strong when you pretend it's like, wait, what happened to the cube like that? And then you just fix it like accidentally. That's better.
like the Dave Williamson thing.
Yeah.
So, this is not really a solve. It's really just an Insta gimmick with one line.
Yeah.
the reason why I had this in the trailer is mainly because I realized this visual looked kind of interesting. If you get it right, it's like your fingers changing the stickers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's nothing very special.
Actually, you can make like anything appears on a
Oh,
cube,
yeah.
right? Like your initials
Like-
or spectator's
like
name. I don't know.
Like certain
possible, definitely possible.
certain countries' flags like look like a certain color scheme, like 1, 2, 3 lines. So
You
some-
can force country, maybe. I don't know if it's good, but force
Yeah.
and then
it's an idea. That's enough.
so I think this one is probably your favorite, right?
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's one of the cool ones. Yeah, like I was thinking, what if you had 2 instas? So there's 1, there's 2. I actually played with it being on like 2 sides.
Mm-hmm.
You know how laymen think that we solve cubes face by face? Like, oh, I can only solve 2 faces. Like,
Right.
I don't know
It's
a cube
actually
way
layers,
to solve 2 faces to solve it. But you could realistically have like a few instas and just like solve it face by face and do it the way laymen think, right? So I was kind of trying to do that. But this was a cool handling where you can show 2 faces that are seemingly mixed. So the way it works, as I'm sure you've guessed, is one normal insta. The other insta is just on the other side.
Yeah. Because of the magnetic block, you can make any side magnetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like place anywhere you want.
Yeah, and so I have one hand covering the bottom, and because these lines are a bit obvious, I cover 2 with my thumb and I cover 1 with my pinky. And I try not to curl so they
looks
get like
really
a good
good.
view of it. It looks somewhat mixed. You could actually have this like to your side, so really it looks kind of mixed so you don't show that top face. And when you bring it up, you can get into position. And it's just, the goal that you're trying to do is just like a little bit of this, like a sort of a hamburger thing. So it'll look something like that. I think the goal is you don't want to make it like too drastic. You want to find like the exact balance where you just do a little bit as possible. And I actually like that it's a little bit skewed. I think that if it did solve like this, that does look a bit, a bit off. Like this does make it look quite good. So yeah, and then I had them all twisted to the bottom, like that, and then like that, just to prove as though there's nothing stopping it from twisting.
So our next one is solving a cube in spectator's head, and I think you should talk about that. It's a really fun one.
Yeah, so this is just an idea.
Just an idea, right?
Yeah. So let's say that this Rubik's Cube is mixed.
Should we like try it on me once?
Yeah, I'll try it on you.
Okay.
This is an idea. It's nowhere near done. So here, hold out your hand like this, and you can see that it's mixed. Here,
Yeah.
close your eyes. Now keep them closed. I'm going to take this out of your hands. Now you can feel, you felt me take it out. You can probably
Yeah.
hear me turning it. You can feel me putting it back.
Yeah.
Correct? I want you to open your eyes. I'm going to try and do that without you feeling it. That sounds odd, but okay, we'll give
I'll
this a
hold
go.
tight, right?
Yeah, hold it tight.
Okay.
Close your eyes and make sure that I don't take it out of your hands. And picture me taking it out, mixing it, putting it back. Have a look now. Yeah. It's
Salt.
it's an interesting idea. It's a kind of a cool experience, I think, when you close your eyes and you look at it again, and it's
Right.
yeah.
So it's an explanation already, right?
Yeah, I would say if you want to give this a go, practice on your friends first. Figure out what is the handling. Like, do you want to hold their fingers first, close, and then grab? Like, you can open, but like directly going like this you might be able to feel
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
So like figuring that out.
Yeah.
Some random ideas are like, let's say you have a group of people and there's one person whose eyes are closed the whole time. You have them closed. You talk to everyone how it looks solved to everyone. But open your eyes for a moment. Great, let's take a photo. Okay, great. Now close your eyes again, and then we'll take this off of you, and then you solve it as you show everyone it's all mixed. Open your eyes. This whole time the Rubik's Cube was solved, but what did you see? It was mixed, right? We can even show you we have proof of a photo, right? This is not a final idea. It's just
Yeah.
some
Something we
things.
want to play with and
Yeah.
experiment. Fun. So this part will be very special because it will be like an interview for Vincent, right? And because I think the insight from Vincent is really really helpful for the Cube community or even Magic. I think everyone should know about it. So I think this part would be like the best part of the tutorial, I think. But usually maybe they would just skip it.
Let's hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they
a lot
just
of people
skip it.
just want. Will this
So
be
if you're still watching now, that would be awesome. You will just learn a lot from Vincent. So let's see what we'll talk about. We had actually talked about it last night, right? We talk about the casualness of handling a cube, right? Do you remember?
casualness of handling a cube?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
we always seen magicians, they handle the cube super cuber, right?
Yeah. So
What's your opinion about that?
my opinion is it's actually based on Spanish card magic, where if you hold a deck really close to you, it's like
Yes.
you've probably got something set up.
Okay.
But if it's on a table that's far away from you and the deck is slightly spread out or a little bit messy, it's there's
More casual.
yeah, there's no way that deck is stacked. So much like with a Rubik's cube, don't know if I can do the stack in it. Let's say
It's okay,
that
you can just do it quick.
I'll just
Yeah.
there's an instant on it though.
But yeah, take it away.
Okay, but basically, if I'm really protective of this,
Yeah.
it feels more like a stack. But if it's slightly skewed, and if it's really far away, that doesn't really feel like a stack. As you know, Rubik's cube, a good Rubik's cube has mainly two ways to be smooth. The first is how smooth it is. The second is the corner cutting. So whether
Yeah.
you can rotate like that, whether the cube goes.
Yes.
Bad Rubik's cubes, it'll lock like that. So I think it's really good when you mix it up, you have a bit of lockups, just so when you end up doing something like this for a layman, it's he was struggling with two hands. How does he do it so smoothly with one hand? It's not.
Yes.
It's less of a possibility. So the casualness is, yeah, have it not always squared up, not
more-
always perfect. You
Right.
know? Yeah. Exactly.
You don't really care about how tight, how lined up it is, right? So it's something you hide your real skill, but you show them pretend you are
it's
not.
It's
that
interesting
good with the
because
cube.
I work at a magic shop,
Yeah.
and there's this 12-year-old kid who's very, very good with cards. He's always doing cardistry.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, he was saying that, wow, this kid's he's very good with cards. And my first response is, no, I'm better. But then I thought to myself, he thinks he's better because he sees all the moves.
Yes.
But when I do magic to him, he doesn't see anything.
Yeah.
So technically,
in another point of view,
it's more, not to brag, but the magic is going to be stronger
yes.
if
yes,
they don't
yes.
know how good you are.
That's actually also my approach to magic too. I try to take away all the possibilities, right? I don't want them to think it's sleight of hand. I don't want them to think it's props. I just want them to think it's just pure magic,
Yeah.
right? No
But
explanation.
you
or
know,
anything.
we sound like the old people who
Yeah.
hate on cardistry.
I love
Cardistry, this,
cardistry.
yeah,
You do cardistry too, right?
I do, but I don't do it in front of laymen unless I have a purpose.
And you do it in front of the camera. Let's do it. No, just kidding. Cut.
Please don't cut that. I want to see this.
No, that part would be doot, and then it would keep going.
Oh man.
Okay. So yeah. So it's you need to hide how really good you are, and when you redo it for the magic part,
You know
then it's
something
perfectly
you know
maximized.
something I really like about Darren Brown?
Yeah.
He said he says in his interviews a lot that you want to make your magic not really about me, how good I am, and make it more about either someone else or something else. That makes it a whole lot better than look at what I can do. That's
Right.
such a basic magic thing that most magicians are doing, I guess.
Right. It's something we will never show them the one-handed mix, right? Some people they want to go to the stack, right? Sometimes they do it one-handed, which is
No, but here's what I mean. You know when you know how when you do that version of when the Rubik's Cube is solved in the spectator's hand, that plays way better because it's about them.
Yes, yes.
And
yes,
when you
yes.
make, they say that the way you become interesting is if you are interested in something else. If I'm interested in this, I become interesting. If I try to be interesting and try to be cool, I become not cool because
Right.
I'm trying to be interesting. You know what I mean? It's a weird psychology.
Right. Okay, so that leads to another point that we want to talk about is you actually have a skill that you can somehow control the audience not to mix your cube.
I don't know.
Should I say it
I
that
don't
way?
know. Well, thank you. I don't know if I'd call it a skill. I
Yeah.
think, yeah. Basically, it's like the messiness idea, where if you ask a layman to mix a cube, I think they're probably going to say yes.
Yes.
But if they've already mixed it once and you're being very messy with it, and oh, by the way, did you want to give that a mix?
it's okay.
I think there's a chance they're still going to say yes, but with
Yeah.
your attitude, I think there's a way that you can guide them to not wanting to
Right.
mix it again. Oftentimes, if I start with a mixed cube and I ask the layman, "Do you want to mix this cube?" They'll be like, "It's already mixed." So, yeah, I think the point or the moral of this is that try not to make the layman feel as though it's a stack. Make them
Okay.
feel as though it's already screwed up.
Right.
And that way they'll be content with.
So actually there's some like psychology in there because this looks like a lined up, right? Like in order, right? But if you go like that and you want to mix it, it looks like it's already like
It's very Spanish. You
right.
know
Spanish cube magic.
yeah, pretty much. Or Spanish psychology applied to cube magic.
Right.
But you know how, let's say if I'm finding your card, right?
Yeah.
It's a common thing that they do where the card is already there. They're like, wait, hold on. What was your card? It's like, even the magician doesn't know what card it is. Therefore, when the card is revealed, it's even more magical because I didn't
Right.
even know what it was. So I'm acting. I know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I suppose it's like there's I, the magician,
Yeah.
and so like confused and like
I
I don't
got it
even know
now.
how this works, that when the magic happens, it's all the more better. It's like, imagine if I was like, would you believe me if I told you I could solve this in 10 seconds?
Yeah, I would.
Like, yeah, probably, man. But if you're like, and then,
Right.
10 seconds? There's no way I'm, you know what I mean? Yeah. I lost.
That's one of your skill, right?
Wait, which way does it go? I think is it that way or the,
I have no. I think so. Yeah.
did I take out one piece or two pieces?
I think one piece.
Yeah, so, fuck.
Look,
the cameraman.
I was like,
But that's what I mean. That's what
Yeah.
if I'm confused about what
Yeah.
happened, then when the magic, it's all the better, you know?
yes.
Yeah, that's the point.
So you once told me that it's always better, for example, for the RD insert trick, it's always better to let them check or touch the cube first, rather than like after solving you hand it out for exam.
Yeah.
Right.
I think this sounds like a tangent, but it's on the same line. Basically, I saw this thing by Darren Brown where he's like, blah, 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 I'm not going to do a deck switch. And he does a deck switch, right? I think the idea is you want to rule out all of the things that the layman
Right.
think how it works. When you're doing super visual things with the Rubik's Cube, they might think it's a trick cube. So
And
you
then
want
you
that
like-
out of their head before they start thinking it,
Right.
right?
And your way is like tell them. It's like something you will see later is like super amazing.
Exactly.
You will almost think it's like a trick cube, or it's like the stickers maybe changing, or if you're watching the video, you will think it's CGI.
Exactly.
That's why I want you
So
to
I-
make sure this is a normal cube. Just touch it, blah blah blah, something like that, right?
Yeah. So yeah, like what you're saying, bring it up. So bring it up to the laymen
First.
before they think it's a possibility.
And then like at the end, they don't have that door already. Like you cancel that door, so they're like amazed by that like visualness.
Yeah.
Rather than like I do all the stuff first, they're like, whoa, for the first time, and then they started thinking maybe it's a trick cube, and then I disprove you by giving it to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know if this is too. This
Like-
is
like-
this is
yeah.
not clear in my head already. So if I explain, it's not going to be very clear. But if you asked a layman to examine a deck of cards,
Yeah.
they know the original thing. They know what a normal deck of
Right.
cards is. But
But
when you
for
ask
cube-
exactly, if you ask them to examine this Rubik's cube, they don't really know what a normal one is. They'll be like, "Wow, it's really smooth," you know?
Yeah.
Isn't that relatable? And also, one time back in my years ago, when someone claimed that it was a trick cube, I broke it open. I said, "No, there's no elastics inside," and they're like, "You can break it open. See, I told you it's a trick cube."
Okay.
So they don't even know what a normal Rubik's cube is.
So right. So because like normal people, they don't really know what's inside the cube, right? They don't understand the mechanics inside the cube.
It's like, here, I have this alien piece of technology. Examine that it's normal. It's like you don't even know what it is. How are you supposed to confirm that it's normal, right?
So I think the other way is like you need to convince them by your like honesty, right? Like you're very honest about what you say. It's really a cube. I just bought it somewhere. Maybe I don't know. Like you explain it.
Or yeah, that's actually
In
very
that
good.
way.
As long as you sound honest.
Yes,
I think
yes.
that's a good point. Also, one of my friends was giving the point. Maybe you could have an act where you bring out the Rubik's cube in its own package, so it looks like you just bought it from the store.
Ah, that's a nice one. Great. You mentioned before, like, because if you have them examine first, so they confirm it's a normal cube, and then you do that, like physical trick, that means you are the one who do the magic, right? If they examine the cube later, after you do that, the tension will be on the cube.
Oh, that's a different point.
Yeah.
The point was, one of my friends was saying that if you end a routine in OmniDeck,
Yes.
then he doesn't like it because he says that now everyone's interested in this object,
But not
and
the
not
performer.
they don't remember Henry Harris the magician. They remember like
I don't do
this this
OmniDeck.
really weird problem. You know, I'm just giving an example. I think that that might not be fully correct.
Right,
That's just
right.
an idea that you don't want them
Another
to,
point
you don't
of
want
view.
you don't want the layman to be
Like-
really interested in.
Like,
Well, I guess
because if you solve it and then you solve it like super magically, like, and then you hand it out, it's like they want to see what mechanics makes it happen, right? The cube is it inside, or the stickers can change, right? So all the attention is on the cube now, right? But not about how you do the magic, right? Is that what you mean?
I think a little bit.
Little bit.
I think that essentially, if you have them examine it beforehand,
Yes.
now when they have questions of is it a trick cube, they'll go back. They're like, oh, but I just had a look at it. But if they haven't examined it, then all they're thinking about is I want to see that.
If
You
it's
know.
something strange, right?
Yeah, and it's like the moment of astonishment is when you show that it's a normal cube at the end, not when the
Right.
magic is happening.
Right. So like maybe you would prefer like with a gimmick on, you can just palm it off first, and then you hand it to them. Talk about it's a normal cube, blah blah blah. Just make sure they don't mix it up. Like take a look, it's you get the sticker, then just take off or whatever, and then you take it back, add it back on the cube, and then you start to mix and do the routine, right? This is what he's talking about.
Yeah. I think that will actually take practice.
Right.
Like the first
You need to
time.
control them not to mix a cube or.
I think just check that it's not normal. Some people think that the stickers are weird or that it's just
like
check that it's
casually let them
normal.
touch it.
Yeah, and then if you see them do one or two moves, just that's cool.
Right.
And maybe
Get it back
try
at the
to
right
reverse it.
timing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
experiment.
It might be kind of like hard for some people to practice how to not hide this guiltily, like
Right.
you know. But yeah,
Yeah, but at that point they're not like suspecting anything, so
that's true.
it's actually
That's true.
maybe a better timing to let him check, like maybe an easier timing, I should say.
You know how this is such an off topic. You know how some magicians love knowing that they got away with something? I'm not going to name any magicians, but I know some magicians that take satisfaction out of knowing that they did
Could.
something secret without you knowing.
Right.
Like I did like 5 passes without this layman knowing, even though all I did was just a simple trick or something,
So
right?
lame.
Yeah. Tangent. I'm sorry.
So my point of view is that I actually really want them to feel like the sticker is changing. I don't know. I have that feeling because if you're like a real magician,
But why do you want them to think the stickers are changing?
because I just feel like if you really can solve it like the most magical way, they should be just like like that, right? Right. So that's why I really want to have that feeling that it makes so something like that. But like I don't know, it's right or wrong, but it's like the image I want them to like to burn in their mind, right? But your point of view is just more like if you do like too amazing, then it leads them to think it's a trick cube. Or if you film it in the video or in the Instagram, they think it's editing. Right. So I don't know. It's like two different approaches, right?
Yeah. I don't think this is right or wrong.
Right.
I think this is just mainly for
Because for you somehow prefer like a little bit more shake, like not like make it
Well-
less obvious about what it is, and they may have some space of thinking, wait, maybe his hands is super quick, or there's like some space for the sleight of hand part that they may
Well-
think it's that way. So yeah.
Well, I feel like for me, if I were to do Rubik's Cube magic, I'm trying to put a point across. I know that Garrett, who's one of the best cube magicians and magicians,
Garrett Thomas.
he kind of uses the Rubik's Cube as a prover that he's actually good.
Yeah.
Like if you can do a Rubik's Cube in front of a normal person, it instantly makes them think that, okay, this person's probably somewhat smart, that it's probably, like there's a notion that this is an IQ test, even though it's got nothing to do with, I think, that. It's more about how much time you've spent on it, right?
Right.
So my point is that you try not to make the performance just about like, look at how fast I can solve it.
Right.
Make it something like better.
Meaningful or
It doesn't have to be meaningful, and I think it's terrible when magicians try and put
too much.
like it's cheesy, but try not to make it just like, I don't know,
Just to
try to
Too
make
direct
it
and
make it
too-
good, make good magic. So generic, but yeah.
So another thing you told me is like this is like another solution that to make people don't think it's a trick cube. Remember?
I think it might be a solution, but I think it's more of a very cool way to present it. Right. For example, Francis Minotti has a really cool thing where he has a deck in new deck order, and then when
Yeah.
he starts shuffling the deck, he's like, when the deck is in order, my thoughts are in order. But when I shuffle, my words mixed up become a little. More I shuffle, and then like he says a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense, and at some point he starts talking back to normal, and then it's all back to normal. So I had this idea when I saw that. I was like, what if you said that whenever this is solved, I feel normal, but when I start mixing, words become not make sense in head, and then like at some point you put it in a bag, and then blah blah blah, and then you start talking sense again. Oh, so it must be solved, right? I think that this is also a cool presentation where you pretend as though, let's say that this is the spectator. I don't know that the spectator's watching me,
Yeah.
but I
Like maybe
this-
you're on a train. Like this.
yeah, or like
almost.
you know how right after you do a trick,
Yeah.
the people react. Probably the best thing you can do is be quiet and let them feel this emotion. Don't interrupt it by like
Right.
getting a joke or like interrupt their feeling of the wonder.
Amazing, yeah.
Right? So that's when you take a step back, you let them react, and then maybe you can be on the side, and then when you feel that their attention is coming back to you, then you might like do something casual and come back. I think that's a good moment. Basically, the idea is I pretend as though I don't know you're watching me. You think that I'm just on my own and that I don't
Playing
know
with
you're
your
watching.
cubes.
And then I do. Imagine if I did like insta like, okay, good, yeah. Oh, did you see that? Yes, that happens all the time. Like something like that, or
Right.
I don't know.
So it's not like we're like, look, what's so cute? Not like that.
Yeah.
But I like play with it. Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
Like make it less make it more like
Yeah,
casual.
and it's kind of egotistical if you're like, look at what I can do.
right.
Isn't that cool? It's like, be quiet, man. Go away.
Looks like us in a trailer.
I think so. Yeah. That's
But you once told me you have a special style for video. The video of you, right?
man. I don't know my style. That's why I'm so hesitant to do things like this, where I state my opinions, because I feel like, not to brag, I
Yeah.
feel like I haven't found which style I like the most yet.
Right.
Like Darren Brown, Mentalist. Max Maven, you
Right.
know what he's like.
Right.
You know, David Stone, he's like hilarious but really strong magic. Like, you know,
Yeah.
who is Vincent? Like, I feel like I know like a bunch of versions of me, which is
Yes.
why I kind of want to figure myself out more before I like do more things like this, where people know who Vincent is.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want that cut. I want people to know that. So some of these thoughts come from David Williamson, where he does like his card routines, which are awesome, and then he ends with like a card that's folded up, right? And then whilst the spectators aren't, he thinks that they aren't watching, right? But he knows that they're watching, but he pretends as though they're not watching. He like does a top change and he's like presses it, and then it goes flat. He's like, yeah, okay, good, and continues on with his normal stuff.
Yes.
And then their mind gets melted.
I think it's tone and restore transpose.
Yep.
Transpose, right?
Or
Great
yeah,
shape.
or like when I'm eating and then I have like, you know,
Yeah.
and then like a tissue flies in my hand. And, yeah, okay, good. It's like
Right.
it's like I am
So-
magic. You know,
Yes,
it's like
so that-
I'm not presenting it.
So right at that moment, they feel like it's a whole picture now, right? But not just like, what's this? Right. It's like a storyline in their mind now. Like, well, I just saw a guy. He can
it's-
just do that and soft kill. You
It's-
don't even know that guy, right?
Yeah, it's like Michael Carbonaro. They don't know that you're doing a trick. Like, oh, this is actually a pretty good example. So, sometimes when I'm giving out business cards at gigs, that this notion of giving a business card doesn't really feel like a trick, right?
Yes.
And I do this very easy thing. If I did it for camera, like, I'm pretty sure all of you guys would know how it works. But it's like, here's a, oh, you want one too? Okay, okay, now there's two. And now I give that. And you will know how it works the first time you see it. But the fact that they didn't see a magic trick coming, they said like, that was like a highlight for me. Like laymen have told me that moment was more strong than like some of the things I hyped up for, because now they're expecting a trick. Whereas this, they weren't expecting like something cool to happen, right? So by going like, watch this, that you're priming them. But by like, I don't know you're watching and I like do something really cool, you don't have any expectations.
Right. Great example.
By having no expectations, you could probably be more, oh, it sounds so cliche, you could probably be more happy. Because
Be more
like,
happy.
like let's, okay, one of the,
Right.
okay, I was hyped up to see a magic show. I heard like there was crazy things about this show. And when I saw it, I was like, is it as good as people said it was? But if I knew nothing about it and then saw it, I would have been like, you know?
It's like a friend of mine. He always heard people talk about Copperfield's material, and then when he expects so much, right? Expecting so much. So when he sees the show, it's like, I really feel
Yeah.
bad that I know what's gonna happen.
Okay, so this is so confusing. First of all, when I try and recommend like my best friend's music or TV shows,
Yeah.
in the past I was like, you need to see this. This is such a good show. Like, please watch it, and I link it to it. And then afterwards, more they either don't watch it or they're like, it was good, because I don't really want to like
Right.
you know sound rude. But then nowadays I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. I think you should watch it. It's
And then when
and
they
I-
rewatch
and-
it,
yeah,
I'm like,
then it's-
whoa.
But then I heard that there was some sort of study
Yeah.
that if you are spoiled the ending of the movie or something, you enjoy it more. Because then you look for the things that that made the ending
Ah.
obvious or something, and it makes you.
Does that feels like the theory that you know there's a theory like the spectator should know the ending first, like you talked about the ending, we're going to reach that point, and then you go for the trick for the whole process, and you reach that ending, and they're like, wow, I'm like satisfied, and then you do more than that, and they're like,
Yeah,
it-
I think that's a very good way. I think there's no right or wrong.
Right, no
There's
right or
just
wrong.
many different ways to approach. In my gigs, I don't do a lot of Rubik's Cube magic, even though that's kind of what I'm known for in
Yeah.
the magic community, which I find interesting. That it's rare to have something that you can hold that has like
Yeah.
52 different options and is two-sided. Okay, so bear with me on this. Magic sometimes is I have information that you do not have.
yes,
If there's a cup here and a bowl, you don't know if that bowl is a orange, right?
Yeah.
Or if it's already like, you know, something else. Much like how if this card is face down, you don't know if it's switched or not.
yeah,
I don't know if there are many things you can do with the Rubik's Cube. Like Rubik's Cube is a lot just like solving, matching.
yeah,
Like what else do you do? Like Karl Hein has really cool stuff with named colors, but
yeah,
I think people watching this, I hope that, you know, we discover more ways to do magic with Rubik's Cubes that are universal. Like,
Right.
like, you know how, like, what does a layman think when they think of Rubik's Cubes? Haha, I used to peel off the stickers when I was a kid, right? Like, we should do more things that, like, laymen connect with.
like stickless.
Yeah?
John Hinton's stickless. Pretty good.
Yeah, stuff like
So,
that.
it's like it relates to them, like they have their mind, the story in them. Oh yeah, I once did that. So it's like more close to them, the trick or the performance, right?
Yeah. The point that I was trying to put across is that a lot of cube magic is just solving and matching,
Yes.
and that I hope that the people watching can
Can do much more than that, right?
try and think of
Like
more
explore. That's what I'm doing.
In terms of an ending, I think just make good magic. Like I think that there are a lot of us now because of the internet, and I
Yeah.
think that we're in need of people who think uniquely and differently and
Yes.
really challenge yourself to what makes your magic like belong to you. Like, and also don't trust everything I say because
True.
I don't know much.
That's the best ending.
Thanks. That was a,
Done. We're done.
okay, great. That was a weird handshake.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, cool.